I wanted to drop a little something in the feed associated with this notion of defund the police, because this is certainly something which I've thought and occasionally, perhaps rarely, talked about in Stone Ape. But now it's becoming part of the popular consciousness. I really find it very interesting. My thought is that the secondary part of this is defunding the politicians. This comes after defunding the police. Because once you've had a social realization that actually, money has been poorly spent from the get-go in this one particular area, you start to wonder, why do we even need the political system that we have? So I don't know if it's getting into that kind of discussion, although I've seen, various smatterings of that idea appear online. Here in San Jose, I'm literally talking about the city I live in, the city government has been paid for and actually had members of the police force in council positions for many years now. The area, the district I live in, the council member who was elected unopposed at the last election is a part-time police officer still, which I, flagged with the local community was a distinct conflict of interest, particularly when, 3 doors down with an alligator in the basement and a policeman on the payroll. When the DEA came in, it was clear that the police were being paid off by the local gangs. I mean, we now have explicit evidence of that. Never clear what actually happened to that policeman. He was put on leave with pay for an extended period of time, and then the news reports just dropped off. He never appeared to have gone to trial. The plea proceedings weren't there. Maybe there weren't even plea proceedings. So that whole circumstance with regards to that particular gentleman and the city and the police force, Anyway, so the mayor, who used to, funnily enough, also be the council member from my area, put forward a budget which just gives more money to the police. And I kind of anticipated that would be the case because basically the police are so institutionally involved, institutionally paid off, institutionally corrupt in this area and don't provide basic services, like really are just not present. So what happens through this? Well, imagine a world in San Jose where the police are actually defunded, where a portion of their income actually goes to civil servants to maintain things like, so for example, my house backs onto a tyre yard and nominally, well, this is basically a tyre yard. Normally they do repairs. They put cars through the neighborhood of when they were supposed to be repairing these cars. Now they put them on the street. So in front of my house at any given time, there will be a car or two from this particular business. There's no code enforcement. So part of this defunding the police is actually putting money back into things like code enforcement to actually improve the quality of life of, where people live, as opposed to this all conspiring, all taking, never actually working police force. So, if code enforcement started to become a thing again, they literally don't even have any staff. But if they started getting funding again through a defunded police force, then the local gangs and the local, businesses, in inverted commas, would have to start paying code enforcement. They'd have to move from just paying off a few bent cops to actually paying off a substantial number of public servants. It would become quite difficult, I think, for them if this were to come into place. And obviously, there's being fought against dramatically. The amazing source of light through this is an organization, a charity called Silicon Valley Debug, that has been camping outside the mayor's house for the past 3 days. When I found out about this organization, although I don't agree with all the aspects of this organization, I cut them a check for $750. And every month I'm going to give them $1,500 for at least the next, till the end of the year to see what they do in this circumstance. My view is to have people camping outside the mayor's office and, well, not even office, over his home, is unbelievably exactly what needs to be done currently, given the view that the mayor has created this cement truck route in the front of my home where I breathe in cement dust. We'll put these protesters outside the front of his home. Of course, at the taxpayer's expense, he's been staying in a hotel. He hasn't been in his house. But the thought that these people are actually there indicated a really strong signal that these are the kind of folk that I should be supporting currently. So let's see how this thing plays out. I would love to see a defunded San Jose Police Department, or at least a situation where they got maybe a quarter of the revenue that they've received so far, with the remaining revenue going into social services, which have not existed in this city for at least the time that I've been resident here. That would be an amazing and extraordinary thing. They say 44% of the budget is taken by the police currently. A substantial portion is taken by the airport, which the police take money from as well. Fire service, I think, is at 20% or in that number. So really, everything is completely and utterly out of whack. Like social services, the police auditing is 0.2%. So everything is completely out of whack. And it's interesting that this is nominally a Democrat-owned area. And I think what's very interesting through this defunding movement is that no Democrats are really stepping up. I'm not sure what AOC said. Kind of saw something in a feed and don't really spend much time listening to her directly. I mean, occasionally she says things of interest. It's interesting to see that none of the mainstream Democrats, I mean, who knows what Two-Finger Biden will do in terms of running mates. But, you know, maybe he'll have a woman of colour who might come out in favour of defunding the police. I doubt that would happen. My view is it'll probably be Amy Klobuchar or, you know, Kamala Harris, who is a very curious character. I mean, they're both incredibly curious characters with regards to their own police hang-up, so to speak. So, yeah, I mean, he would probably have to pick someone who has an existing relationship with the police who would not be interested in defunding the police. So, yes, I mean, I think, honestly, I'm feeling another 4 years of Trump. My view is that the Biden candidacy will actually force people, particularly at pains of death, to come out and vote against him. I doubt that people will come and vote for him in the same numbers that will vote against him. So, yes, another curious case of the American primary system bringing forth a candidate that no one in their right mind would vote for. Anyway, I feel I probably should round this thing out now. I just wanted to drop some audio in about defunding the police and what it might mean locally. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.